I'm mayor of Cherry Valley Borough. Cherry Valley Borough is a tiny, tiny little borough in northern Butler County. We have 37 registered voters right now. I was appointed because our mayor of 51 years died of COVID. I was just recently reelected. My neighbors know who I am. They know what I stand for. They know I'm a Green.
My name is Michael Bagdis Canning, and I'm running to represent the working people of PA 64 in the Pennsylvania House.
The Green Party is all about local grassroots democracy. We are not for genocide in Gaza. We're not for more fossil fuels. We're for making the election process more transparent and easier for people to vote and to vote for the candidate they like, not necessarily settle for the one that's less evil.
We see Joe Biden pretending to be the climate president. The Inflation Reduction Act is a fossil fuels first bill.
It's important to have a counter narrative, right? That actually poses a different alternative and poses a different picture of what the world could be like.
Everyone gets a little bit of political despair when things are not going the way they want them to. But what re-energizes me is when I go to events with Greens and I come back home and I'm like, that was so great. I love being with these people. It makes me remember there are good people in this world who want to make change, and I think we can do it.
I want to be in a world where we're all free. I want to be in a world where we're all fed. I want to be in a world where we're all housed.
Local, state, federal government is not protecting people. They're protecting profits. These industries come into communities, the cracker plant, the Coke Works in Clairton, all the fracking and refinery stuff that's happening in Washington County. Chester, where they have the largest trash incinerator on the East Coast, and the people that live around it smell trash 24 hours a day, and then they have to breathe the burning trash, and they have high asthma rates and cancers.
So, somebody is hurting our people. It's gone on far too long, and we won't be silent anymore. The system in Pennsylvania and across the U.S. is not broken, it's fixed.
I got into this thing, the fracking climate fight in 2010 because my eldest daughter, told Karen and me that we were about to become grandparents. And I looked around and I thought, holy heck, this is not the world that I want my grandson to grow up in. We have amazing First Amendment rights as long as they're ineffective. As soon as they become effective, the cops show up and you get hauled away. You know, I've petitioned, I've written letters to the editor, I've run for office, I've done everything we're allowed to do. But unless you build a movement, the politicians don't care.
My name is Mel Packer. I come before you today as a healthcare employee and provider, a taxpayer in the city of Pittsburgh and Allegheny County, a homeowner, registered member of the Green Party, and a father who's attempted to raise our two children.
I ran for U.S. Senate once, and I'm fairly articulate with sound bites, etc., so I was being seen on TV a lot. I just decided it was important for someone who had some photo recognition to pose no real alternatives to them in the hopes of building a movement around a third party. The Democrats and the GOP, mostly the Democrats, are constantly trying to tell people that anybody who runs as a Green is going to take votes away from the Dems. Statistics show that it never would have influenced a single election that took place in this country.
If I would tell people, oh, I volunteer with the Green Party, they would just say, but you have to vote for Biden. If no one votes third party, then there will never be any chance to break out of the two-party system. Someone has to do it eventually. You know what I mean?
People who come out, even sometimes people I know and care about, will attack you unmercifully if you're not getting out there and voting for Democrats.
I graduated in 2016. That was obviously a really big election year. I heard about Jill Stein, but I only started learning about her more after she had run.
Which is why they are working overtime to silence us, because we have been a party of, by, and for the people for a long, long time. And they are quaking in their boots right now. They've already announced they will be doing whatever dirty tricks they can and try to throw us illegally off the ballot.
In Pennsylvania, the laws around a major party versus a minor party are all different. So the major parties don't need as many signatures. The Democrats are the bigger challenger of our ballot access signatures than the Republicans, because I think they're scared of us.
"20% of the vote should get you 20% of the seat." It's ridiculous that that's not what we have.
Hi everyone, my name is Jay Ting Walker. I'm the chair of the Green Party of Allegheny County.
The two major parties don't want you to think about our broken economic system, our endless spending on the military budget. They don't want you to hear about our better vision and that a better world is possible. A future where basic human rights are just that, a right, not a privilege to be bought.
Jay's like a force of nature. He'll get out and talk to people, and he's also very aware of what needs to happen, and then he does it.
He's very diplomatic. He's able to deal with differences in viewpoints, and he just never gives up. But he also has a very strong center of, knowing what's right and wrong. And
Listen to the youth of Pittsburgh when we ask you to
explore the installation of spring-loaded doors on the Coke.
Hi, my name is Jay Ting Walker. I'm a resident of District 11. I want to lend my voice in support as an individual of the County Council passing a ceasefire resolution.
I think it is important to vote your values. I am part of the Green Party. I'm a member of this organization because I want to see these policies implemented in our society, both through the ballot box, through governance, and also through movements in the street.
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
They've refused to go along with the fear-mongering that goes on around every election, which has already started around this one.
I cannot believe our elected officials' stance on it. It's really big because of the scale of the tragedy.
I refuse to get up in the morning and look at myself in the mirror and know that I voted to kill Palestinians. And that's what it amounts to.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
That anti-war issue is extremely important to me. Our military-industrial complex killed my father and ruined my family. He should have never been sent to Vietnam. Our own government poisoned our own people with Agent Orange, and that's what led to his death. And our government admits this, So my mom's from Taiwan. I've never been wealthy in my life, grew up poor, Section 8 projects, food stamps, that kind of thing.
We already know the issues that we face. Many of us are tired of the wars, tired of the massive wealth inequality, tired of being crushed by student loan and medical debt.
My family growing up was just me and my mother, but she brought me to a Quaker meeting house, and they had a shelf that was full of environmentalism books. And I was really big reader, and I just read all of them. When I went to college, I went to this youth environmental conference with the youth environmental group that I was part of called Ecologic. I was exposed to lobbying and all sorts of different areas of sustainability and environmental advocacy.
We're ruining the climate for my generation and generations to come. Not just in Pittsburgh, not just in Pennsylvania, not just in the United States, but for the entire damn globe.
So I moved to Pittsburgh, and then I was looped in with these grassroots Democrats, right? I joined the Democratic Committee. I was the committee person representing this neighborhood. I found out that my state representative, the person who represents me, he wasn't supportive of redistricting reform because the Democrats were going to do the redistricting next, and he wanted to redistrict the shit out of the Republicans. And almost it felt like my local Democratic committee in what I thought was a progressive area was promoting all these things that were against what all the activists are calling for. And then I decided to run against him myself, having not been able to find someone to run against him.
We've had the Green Party's own Green New Deal become a major part of mainstream politics. We deserve a representative who will fight for these policies in Harrisburg. We know my opponent, Dan Franco, won't fight for these policies. We've had 21 years of evidence to show that. Time's up. We can't wait any longer while looking directly into the face of climate catastrophe.
So in 2018, that was the first time I was ever involved in a political campaign. I was actually roommates with Jay at the time, Jay. He asked me to be his treasurer for his campaign.
So I was like gonna run as a Democrat, right? Like progressive Democrat. And about this time, I also started hearing about the Green Party. I think I saw a Facebook ad about the Green Party state convention. And then I went. Going and meeting these people who are like involved in this party really kind of transformed my view. So I was like, there's no way I'm gonna win, right? Like I don't have the money raised, the volunteers. I might as well do it as a Green so I can help build this party that I was like now like pretty fully believing in.
The candidates for the 23rd Pennsylvania Legislative District are Representative Dan Frankel, the Democratic candidate, and Mr. J. Ting Walker, the Green Party candidate.
I'm running against a 21-year incumbent who has raised literally millions of dollars over his countless terms from health insurance PACs, developers, law firms, and frackers. My campaign is entirely grassroots funded, and it needs you to join it.
We need to be focused on this pandemic, but the pandemic itself has revealed so many other issues that we're focused on as Democrats to get this done. And the Democrats, being in the majority in Harrisburg, will have the opportunity to do that, and you can hold us accountable to that.
We tried really hard in 2020, raised, like $10,000, had 100 plus volunteers. I had a full campaign team, a campaign manager. Back in the day in 2018, the first issue I was running on was gerrymandering, but I guess what is important to me has evolved, Our state is very corrupt, and that becomes very visible when the most anti-fracking part of the state is represented by someone who is not for a fracking ban.
Dan Frankel from Squirrel Hill in Pittsburgh. He talks about all these issues, but he does nothing. And Jay, the last time around, got about 15% of the vote. So we need to push an independent movement. So we have Jay Walker here. Thanks.
All I had to do was knock a billion doors, talk to the press, conduct interviews constantly, and raise money. I could definitely do that again. But that's not where our focus is. Our focus is on local races for sure.
The first time I ran for office here in Edgewood, which was 5 years ago, I guess now, I ran as a Democrat. And the Green Party supported me, but I was still a Democrat. And then, all my support has come from the Green Party, basically, all the way along. And so this time, when I ran just in 2023, just for this year, I ran as a Green. I mean, in the election, there are 3 people running for 3 seats, right? But I think Tara has done a really good job in her first term. And I think that was key to fend off any major challengers for a second term. Our plastic bag ban is about to go through, and I'm hoping that after that goes through, we can work on styrofoam. The planet, I think, is a gift that was, that is something for us, and not necessarily a gift that we can just do anything we want with. We need to export what we're doing outside of Allegheny County to the rest of the state and also to the rest of the country.
To me, the Allegheny Green Party is the model that we need to build the Pennsylvania Green Party on.
I believe strongly in our green movement.
It's all people from all over the country, all over the world.
It doesn't have to be the Green Party, but it has to be a left party that's democratically controlled.
If we could do that in the state of Pennsylvania, it'd be a much better place for my grandkids to live.